Hi, it's Gita. I am just back from a couple weeks vacation, and so is Congress. So let's start getting caught up. Congress has 12 committee meetings scheduled this week, and they started yesterday with the Rules Committee meeting, in which they set the debating rules for the cancellation of 3 Biden-era regulations related to the environment. Markups are scheduled on a couple of different committees' bills this week, and there are 16 votes scheduled. So I'll bring those results to you by the end of the week. The Epstein files rose again this week, with Representative Thomas Massie, a Republican from Kentucky, filing a discharge petition to demand the release of all the Epstein files. A discharge petition is a tool that members of the House of Representatives can use when they are not in a leadership position to force the leaders to actually hold a vote. The first hurdle that this petition faces is getting 218 co-petitioners to sign on. To do that, they'll probably need almost all of the Democrats, which they're likely to get because President Trump does not seem to want the Epstein files released, so it seems likely that the Democrats will jump on board this train. I think he has a pretty good chance of getting all 218 because Republicans have been clamoring for the release of Epstein files for several years now, and most likely enough of them will sign on that this comes to the floor for a vote. So stay tuned and I'll let you know how far Massie gets. Congress is facing the probably nearly impossible task of averting a government shutdown this month. There are 12 regular appropriations bills that need to be passed by both chambers of Congress by September 30th to avoid any kind of shutdown. And most likely, they will not get there. Democrats have been stalling and trying to get legislation saying that once the bills are passed, the Trump administration cannot claw back those funds because the Trump administration so far has been refusing to spend funds that were already allocated by Congress. So the Democrats are saying, what's the purpose on voting on a bill and appropriating spending only to have the president turn around and do something else? Also, the president has already sent one rescissions bill to Congress this year, formally clawing back those funds, and he has said that it's pretty likely that they'll send a few more. So for congressmen who technically have the power of the purse, this is a little bit frustrating. They're used to allocating budget and having that money spent, and that's really not how things have been working with this administration. Historically, Democrats have tried to keep the government open and functioning at all costs, but this year we'll see if they change their tune on that. Regardless of Democrats' position, though, it isn't very clear that they have enough time left to get all these bills passed by the September 30th deadline. So we'll be keeping an eye on that all month.